Hi people, hi people, hi people, hi people, and I'm back cooking.
This is Barbara K. Lee. Most of you will probably know her by her YouTube username, K's Cooking. For 4 years, she's been creating some really, interesting food. Today I'm going to challenge myself by making her most popular dish, the spaghetti bolognese gourmet. Now this spaghetti bolognese of hers is the perfect mix of disappointment, disaster, and disgust. While her videos and recipes are objectively bad, she is truly one of my favourite cooking YouTube channels for the sole reason that she gives cooking a fair old bash, and I can respect her for that. Most people will tell you that they can't cook and then not even try. Few people know they can't cook but are willing to give it a try and then see how far they can get. Kay is one of those people. If you look at her videos and the things she was cooking when she started versus what she's cooking now, there's a stark difference. She's gone from burning sausages in the oven, adding baked beans to it and calling it a recipe, to making a semi-ways decent puff pastry vol au vent, which is possibly one of the most challenging baking recipes there is. And all of this progress in 4 years. That said, this bolognese is pretty damn grim. So today, in the process of making it gourmet, I'm going to stick to the K ethos and keep it relatively simple. There will be more than double the ingredients, but the cooking won't involve any crazy super advanced techniques. It might just take a little longer. To make it a little bit more challenging, I'm going to force myself to use the ingredients that Kay used in her recipe in their entirety. Kay's recipe incorporates 1 pack of beef, 2 eggs, a pack of spaghetti, passata, an onion, a tin of diced tomatoes, and some dried parsley. Although she calls this bolognese, it's quite possibly the loosest definition of the word bolognese any person on earth has ever used. So I'm not particularly bothered when I say that I'm not making bolognese. You might ask, but isn't that part of the challenge, to make bolognese? To which I would say, who the hell puts eggs in their bolognese? Well, the Spanish do, and then they bake it, which is actually originally what I was going to do. But their dish is generally served on toasted white bread, and I have a whole pack of spaghetti that I need to find a place for. So that's a no on the Spanish bolognese bake thingy. And then I thought I can use the eggs to make pasta from scratch. But then, again, I remember that goddamn spaghetti. So that idea was scrapped also. The only other easy beef-centric dish that uses eggs that I could think of was meatballs. It also makes good use of the spaghetti, so it's perfect. Here are the extra ingredients that we're going to be using. For this recipe, we're going to start with the meatballs. First off, you want to start by combining the breadcrumbs and milk together to help hydrate the breadcrumbs, and then just leave it off to the side. Next, just add everything else for the meatballs. So, that's both mincemeats, the dried parsley, pecorino, and both eggs, as well as salt and pepper. Once everything's combined and mixed a little, start adding in the breadcrumb and milk mixture. You want to do it bit by bit, just to make sure that the meat mixture doesn't get too wet. Get your hands in there and mush it around a bit and start to form it into balls. I like mine pretty big, but you can make them whatever size you prefer. Put them onto baking pans or baking sheets and put them into the oven at 320 degrees. They should take around 15 to 20 minutes to bake, which will be just the right amount of time to finish off the quick tomato sauce that we're going to make. To make this sauce as simple as humanly possible, we're just going to grate the onion and carrots. So peel the onion, there's no need to peel the carrot, just give it a good wash. Yeah, okay, I think that's enough now. Okay. Once they're both grated, get everything and all of the juices into a pan and start to cook the onion and the carrot off together. After about 5 minutes, we're going to put the entire jar of tomato paste in with the carrot and onion. Getting it in early will help to get rid of a little bit of that tart taste that the tomato paste will have, and just smooth out the eventual flavour overall. Once everything starts to come together, add the passata and the tinned tomatoes. Now with all of that tomato from the tomato paste, the passata, and the can of tomatoes, it's going to be really tart. So the 3 things that we're going to use to help combat that are going to be thyme, like thyme, not the other time, just like regular thyme, sugar, and vinegar, which in this recipe is going to be in the form of Worcestershire. After that, some oregano, parsley, and of course, salt and pepper. Check on the meatballs while you're at it, and just make sure they're not overcooked or anything. Give them a little roll around in their baking dishes, and then throw them back in the oven if they need it. Worcestershire sauce is pretty much vinegar on crack, so if there's ever a chance to add it to recipes, I always aim to use it instead of regular vinegar, because it's just so much more nuanced. Put a good whack of that in, and then about 1.5 tablespoons of honey, stir it in, chuck a lid on it, and give it a little bit of time to cook down. Now that everything's starting to come together, the last thing that needs our attention is the spaghetti. Unlike Kay, we're actually going to pre-cook our spaghetti before assembling, so that we don't get the... And while it's cooking, take the meatballs out of the oven. By this point, they should be cooked and brown all over. Throw them right into the sauce with any fat and scrapings and mix everything together. Now would be a great time to taste the sauce. If it's a little too tart, add a bit of honey or sugar, maybe some salt. It should take you about 8 or so minutes to cook the pasta until it's al dente. And once that's done, strain it off immediately and get it ready for serving. I like to add the pasta first and then a little bit of sauce to help keep everything nice and separate. And then at the end, add the meatballs on top. Finally, finish it with a little bit more pecorino and it's all done. I know it's not Bolognese, but neither is Kay's. It's not too much more work, it'll only cost about 50% more, and you'll actually have a dish that you might enjoy eating.